Keith Lee needs to hire a cultural curator or someone to research the cities that he's going to. Because how do you go to Washington, D.C. and go to 12 restaurants and not be able to find good food?
I know we only posted about 3 spots from Washington, but we went to about 12. And we made a decision as a family and as a team, and also a personal decision to not post most of them. So out of those 12, I probably only got like 1 or 2 more that I'm gonna post.
Again.
Y'all gotta stop treating Keith Lee like he's the patron saint of food, because he's not. I've had beef with Keith Lee ever since he went to New York and ate a fish chopped cheese from Bodega.
And last but not least, the Too Smooth, which is a salmon chopped cheese. I'm gonna start with this one. It's salmon, cheese, sauce, lettuce.
Between the Nigerian, Ethiopian, Eritrean, Ghanaian, and Senegalese people in DC alone, that's 100 restaurants right there that you could go get an adequate and good amount of food from. Let alone all of the people in the actual DMV, which is inclusive of Baltimore, Virginia, and Washington, DC. There's so much food you could have gotten. With
Fuck, you can't get on me. I might jump on the stage with a stick on me. Every cornerback with me got a pick on him. Every Glock in it big got a dick on it. How you watching my live, won't click on it. I'm a butt on a rolling, no tick on it. They ain't tell you about root, I got a kick on me. I just pray that my dog don't switch on.
Reset TV, what's happening? I am your host, Gravitating Way. It's another beautiful day. Now, recently, social media food critic Keith Lee has been basically stirring up some trouble, man. He called out the DC, food area, or lack thereof, in his opinion. He basically said he didn't want to name a couple of restaurants that had horrible food. And if you look at the plates, man, food looked pretty basic, but neither here nor there. I can respect, at least he said he didn't want to call out the restaurants' names, but Joe Budden chimed in with his opinions, and it basically mirrored mine and several other people's opinions when it comes to Keith Lee. And no shade, no hate, but somebody had to say it, and Joe Budden did. Before we get to that audio, real quick, if you're new to my channel, trying to bake this algorithm, trying to get to 10K, y'all, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Lock in with me by hitting the notification bell so you can know when we're dropping. Without a further ado, here's the video.
Professional food critic.
Why not?
He's somebody that has made a profession out of critiquing food. But does he have?
Tell me the difference.
Yeah, I'm lost here. Professional food critics have been trained, have been schooled.
They might be chefs.
They have food OGs. They're like historians. They
look for a certain taste and certain things.
Keith Lee is just telling you what tastes good to him and what doesn't taste good to him.
Yeah, food critic can like pick out the seasonings and shit.
Yeah,
from
like we watch like the Master Chef.
You
You should have had cinnamon over here. I could taste the hell.
Yeah. Like those the dudes that be the judges on all of the Bobby Flay shows and all the kitchen shows. Those judges are professional food
Your salmon is a little too hard. It should have pulled out.
Keith Lee has made a profession out of critiquing food.
And salute to that.
I'm saying piece of that because that's fire.
Yeah, right.
But that's very different than what we talk about.
So what is DC saying, Joe? Are they saying that?
I don't know what DC is saying. I was in Magic City 10 hours ago shaking hands. How the fuck do I know? Introducing myself to fucking skinny strippers.
Okay.
I have no idea what has been happening in the real world with Keith Lee. Nobody. I don't know nothing. I know that DC has good food.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
By far.
And Keith Lee, right? He don't be looking for the vibe. Like he looking for the food. He don't be looking for the vibe.
He ain't even going inside.
He get mad at the vibe.
Not
like if
going
he see you with a vibe, he send his mom in there to say some shit. Like, oh, you smoking hookah in here? He was showing the workers from the stores he was at without gloves, like handling the money, then handling the food. Like he was showing shit that just wasn't hygienic.
He's right.
You know it.
Sometimes that's really good. Hey, look.
I look like ghetto ass Johnny over here. That's right.
Hey, yo, you need a little bite of your food, nigga.
Why you got gloves on?
Dog, the dollars make the chicken taste a little bad.
Keep in mind, Joe Budden is pretty much always hated no matter what take he puts out there, right? Even when it's accurate, it's pretty pivotal because you can't disagree that information, right, is not something you should ponder upon before you elevate Keith Lee as this end-all, say-all when it comes to food. It's something that I've been thinking about for some time, but I really don't like hitting on the brothers. If you found a niche, right? Found a way to hustle on social media, do what you do. But since that whole BET fiasco, right, where Taraji got Keith Lee and another guy mixed up, Keith Lee being moist as possible, that's just in my book. The way he reacted was crazy. You would think he was a diva, dropping roses, then deleting videos. I always looked at this guy like, you know, he don't know how to stay in his lane, right? Be humble, be grateful. You made a niche and a name for yourself in social media, but social media isn't real. Joe Budden said something that made perfect sense that I don't know how a lot of his fans don't understand. And what I mean is, Keith Lee was not, you feel me, somebody who was well versed and trained in the food critic area, right? He's not a former chef. He's not somebody that has been brought up into this realm of things where you're criticizing food, right? His opinions can literally ruin or make and break people's businesses, right? But Keith Lee is not somebody that is sanctioned, that is, I would say, authentic, right? When it comes to food critics, real life food critics that's been doing this for eons. And I'm not hating on him for that, but the way he goes viral about his opinion, it's almost like he dove deep into this role, right? A role that he's pretending to be, because you're not a real life food critic. He's just somebody giving his opinion on what he likes. And if y'all rock with it, y'all rock with it. If y'all don't, y'all don't. Who could hate on that, right? But it's the point that if you're watching this man and you've been paying attention to him, like most folks who gets drunk crazy off of the fame, he's making it a whole thing now where he has to come out and give his opinions as the end all say all. And that's where I differ with Keith Lee. Like, bro, make your opinions, drop your videos, keep it pushing. You got the fans, you got the motion, you're gonna win regardless, but you always chime in like you're this expert. And that's what I was trying to say, right? Get out of my mouth is Keith Lee is not an expert. He's a regular guy that was giving his opinions and he made it. Shout out to you. But please stop it with you don't like this restaurant, so you gotta come out here. And yes, even though you didn't say which restaurant it was, they snitched on themselves by coming out saying that you didn't really, you feel me, tried most of the food places in DC. Now, I'm not from DC, so I'm not gonna throw shade on y'all food atmosphere and your food realm of things, but I will say this. The plates Keith was showing look crazy, but this is the thing that we gotta really concentrate on. This guy's giving out his opinions and you guys are going crazy with whether this is good or that's bad. Keep in mind, what one thing somebody may not like, you may like it. Just keep that in the back of your mind before you elevate this man into an expert when it comes to judging food. That's all. So shout out to Joe Budden keeping it a buck. I can't hate with his take. I thought it was perfect. And, you know, dare I say, I didn't want to initially come out with it because in this world, or rather this community that deals with black folks, anytime you got something to say, they hate on you. And I just felt like this dude been moist with it. Sorry, I gotta keep it real. He's been real diva-ish, especially since the BET Awards. And it's something about him that don't sit well with me when he's trying to elevate his social media role into expert. You're not an expert. If you have anything to say, let me meet you in the comment section. This was Reset TV and Gravitating Away hosting. I'ma holla at y'all.